Hey guys, it's your girl Vanessa. Welcome back to my channel and thank you guys all for tuning in again. So you guys, today I have 4 groups for you to choose from and the format is a little different. Okay, I'm using cards that are a little bit different because I felt like a lot of people were choosing group number 3. Okay, I know this sounds really weird, but just because of the number 3. So I thought I wanted to give you guys visually a different deck and a different sort of vibe to pick from. In today's pick a card reading, you will instantly visually connect with the card that is meant for you. You're going to have like a connection with that crystal, and that connection is going to be stronger than, you know, numbers 1 through 4. So that's why I decided to give you guys something different to pick from visually. So yeah, I really hope you guys like this sort of format. Let me know down in the comment section if you would like to see more pick a card readings with this. And just like generally like how you liked it, you know, did you like it more? Did you not like it so much? Let me know what you guys think. So yeah, you guys, if you like this video, do not forget to thumbs it up. And also if you're new to my channel, do not forget to subscribe. So yeah, I want to get straight into the reading. Hey everyone, and welcome to today's reading. So as usual, we have the first group, the second group, the third group, and the fourth group. But like I told you guys, it's going to be a lot less about numbers and a lot more about what you visually instantly connect with. So I want you to choose your crystal intuitively. If you need to pause this video for a little while just to meditate on the cards, feel free to do that. Yeah, otherwise we will get straight into it with group number 1. Okay, group number 1. First up we have the Larimar. So I feel like maybe recently you've been feeling like a lot of the problems in this world are like just weighing on you, like they're just on your shoulders. A lot of things have been sort of like heavy on your heart. And I see that you may have, you know, a lot of like anger and frustration because of that. And I feel like you're moving at a really fast pace. So that is why you chose Larimar. You know, you need to slow your roll before the next year. You need to slow your roll and, you know, just go at a slower pace, because right now I see that the pace that you're going at and all of the problems that you're trying to solve and all of the things that you're trying to accomplish, I see that it may become like very overwhelming for you. And I see that in order to avoid sort of like self-destruction or you burning out, it's important for you to just like calm down. Also, Larimar is for anyone who is like a hot-tempered, like an Aries. So, you know, if you are an Aries, this card is truly calling to you. Then we have the Aventurine. So in the Aventurine, I see that you may have been dulling yourself more than necessary. You may have not been giving yourself credit where credit is due, and that is because you're a very humble person. You don't want to show off, but at the same time I see that this may have been putting you sort of like in a rut or a funk. And I see that this may really have to do with a side hustle. So if you have a side hustle and you're feeling sort of like you're in a rut or a funk, I see that it is time to, you know, talk about it. If you have a side hustle, like, let people know. Don't be embarrassed to show off your sparkle and let your divine self shine. Like, I see that it's important for you to build that confidence before 2019, build that confidence in what you're doing, you know, whether it's your main job or your side hustle, and, you know, let it shine. The more you talk about your side hustle and the more you put out there, the more the universe is going to acknowledge it and, you know, send abundance towards you. So don't be afraid to show off your sparkle and, you know, give yourself credit where credit is due. That's something that I see you needing to make like a habit before 2019. Then we have the Shungite. Get real with your truth. So I see that it's time for you to reclaim your energy. I see that your energy may have been stolen from somewhere, or, you know, someone else might have your energy right now. Someone else may be in control of, you know, just your energetic vibration, all of the fuel that sort of drives you. I see that you may not be in possession of it, and it's important for you to get it back before 2019. I see that it's important for you to reclaim your strength and take it back from whoever or wherever it's been. And I see that you're looking to get honest with yourself. That's why you chose Shungite. So this is a time for you to like meditate on the good and the bad, you know? Really look into what makes you you, and just get real with the truth. Get real before 2019. I mean, if you look back at 2018 and you know that you want to make 2019 a more successful year than the previous year, I see that it's really important for you to just get real with who it is that you are and, you know, your tendencies. And don't be afraid to tap into the ugly and the bad, because we all have ugly sides. We all have things that we need to work on. But the people who succeed are the ones who aren't afraid to tap into it and acknowledge it. So that's something that you need to do before 2019. Then we have Tiger Eye. So I see that you chose this card because right now you may be overthinking, you may have severe mood swings, you may be a Gemini or a Virgo, and I see that it's important for you to balance your whole being. So I see that right now it may be that you're sort of in a situation of turmoil. I see that mentally you are not corresponding with what you're doing physically, okay? Your thoughts are not your friends. I see that you may be like overthinking things and replaying horror scenarios in your head. As like bad as this sounds, you're sort of thinking about a lot of what if scenarios even though they haven't occurred. So, you know, it makes no sense to do that. So try to stop overthinking and to sort of find like a healthy balance between reality and what's going on with you mentally. So I see that right now that may be imbalanced, and it's important for you to find like your zen, to find your ground core, your middle, before the beginning of the next year. Because if you start the next year out of balance and, you know, just imbalanced emotionally, physically, that is not going to let you start your year off on, you know, a successful vibe, because you're first going to need to sort that out and sort of like rummage through yourself. So do that now, you know, don't procrastinate. Get real with yourself now and balance your whole being now. So yeah, that is it for group number 1. I hope you found some sort of clarity in this reading. I hope that you know how to move forward until 2019 and, you know, just really what you need to work and focus on. Okay, group number 2, we have first up the Honey Calcite. First and foremost, this card calls to anyone who is brilliant, anyone with a job to do, but anyone who may also be a procrastinator. I see that this card especially calls to, you know, Taurus or other earth signs. So I see that you're a very intelligent person. You're somebody who is, you know, very smart, and you have a lot of great creativity and amazing ideas. The thing is just that sometimes you may find it difficult to start your new ideas, to sort of get into like a new field, a new beginning. You can be lazy, okay? Let's just be real. You can be lazy. And I see that before 2019, you need to break through your limits. So I see that that may be like a barrier right now. And I see that, you know, you may not just be downright lazy. I feel like you may be procrastinating out of fear. And, you know, having great ideas and being creative, it always comes with a little bit of fear of what others may think. And also just a little bit of you know, just fear of failure. I mean, it's normal. And I see that it's important for you to stop waiting your turn. I feel like you may have just thought like, oh, I'll do it later, you know, 2019 is my year, and then when 2019 rolls up, you're gonna be like, oh, 2020 is the year for me to break through. But no, you know, now's the time. Break through your limits and stop waiting your turn. Stop just standing there watching other people succeed while you're just stagnant in that place, just watching them run and move. Like you have the same thing that those people started out with. You have, you know, intelligence, you have passion, you have drive. All you need to do is make something out of it. So break through your limits and stop standing at the side just watching, you know, people win. Stop being the one just watching, start being the one winning. And then we have Epidote. So upgrade your versions of you. So anyone who picks this card is in need of putting in the work on themselves. I see that it's important for you to, start working on yourself like we already had with Honey Calcite. It's important for you to, kick bad habits, bad friends, any sort of negative or sort of toxic relationships. It's time to get rid of that and upgrade the latest version of you. And the latest version of you, the latest upgrade of you does not come with toxic relationships or any sort of friends that are dragging you down. You need to fix those bugs, and you need to cast a spotlight on your weaknesses now too, because it's important for you to acknowledge them so you can work on them. Because if you never acknowledge your weaknesses, if you never acknowledge, what it is that is sort of holding you back, then you'll never be able to upgrade it. You'll never be able to, see what needs amendments and adjustments. And the epidote is a very, it's kind of like a stone that whatever you throw at it, it just makes it better. So I see that if you just throw good intentions, good vibes, good manifestations into this situation, I see that 2019 will bear a lot of amazing fruits for you. All you need to do is basically just put in the work on yourself right now. Then we have Hiddenite. So one thing that I see is that you need to get rid of just somehow being stuck in the past or to focus on the future. So I see that Hiddenite is trying to tell you to live in the moment and make the most out of every moment. So, maybe you're that person who is just constantly worried about the future and therefore unable to make a move in the present. Another thing that I see is that you may have gone through a really tough time financially or emotionally in the past, and now it's difficult for you to let people in. I see that you may be blocking out a new friendship or a relationship, or you may be standing in your way of making more money. So, live in the moment. Don't dwell on the past. That's why it's the past. Like, you learn from it and you move on, and every day is a fresh start. But at the same time, don't think too far ahead, just plan your day ahead. Whenever we wake up, we all have, those same 24 hours. So make the most of it each day. Don't think too far into the future. Just know that if you put in the work every day and you show up every day, like, you are going to reach your goal and your highest potential. However, if you just look too far ahead and you don't live in the now and put in the work now, just looking ahead is just going to remain that same image, because you're not moving forward, you're not climbing upwards, you're not pursuing your dreams. All you're doing is looking from a distance. So make sure that you always make moves with whatever it is that you're trying to do. I know this sounds really weird, but I know that you guys get me too. Then we have Turquoise. So I feel like your voice may have gone lost. I feel like you sort of feel like disconnected from the people around you, and you kind of feel like disconnected maybe also from yourself. So I see that you're going through something where you're not really sure how to express yourself, and you're also worried of just hurting people, You're also kind of worried of speaking your truth because you don't want to hurt anyone. But at the same time, just keeping things, bottled up is not going to do any good either. So Turquoise is trying to tell you that before 2019, if there's something you need to say, if there's something you need to express it. Put it all out there. Lay it all out there. If you've always been wanting to tell someone that, this one thing that they do gets on your nerves, or you can't stand the fact that they're always complaining about their partners yet they never leave them, just tell that person. Honestly, tell them. Speak your truth, Give advice where advice is needed, and also just tell the truth whenever the truth is needed. So that is something that I see you needing to do before 2019. That way you can start on a fresh slate and you can know that you said everything in 2018. You can move into 2019 with a clear beginning and just letting people know exactly where they stand and where you stand. So yeah, group number 2, if you're about to tune out, I hope that this reading was helpful. I hope it gave you some insight into, what sort of habits you should acquire before 2019 So yeah, good luck on your journey, and let me know which habits you plan on learning before 2019. Okay, welcome group number 3. So we're going to start off with the Moldavite. So you initially chose the Moldavite, and I see that you need this if you're like someone who is seeking for more spirituality. You can be a very like eccentric person, you're very different. Another thing is that the Moldavite speaks especially to Aquarians, so if you are an Aquarius, take the advice of Moldavite very seriously. So Moldavite is trying to tell you to transform your life on Earth in 2019. So one thing with Moldavite is that it may be telling you that you're too grounded and too disconnected from your spirit. You know, you may be a bit unsure as to how much the universe is really doing, how much work the universe is really putting in your life. And, you know, just generally, like, you may be curious about spirituality, but you may also be very sort of skeptical. So I feel like that is something that you need to let go and start operating on a higher frequency. Stop seeing things as just like meaningless coincidences. So that's something that I see you needing to do before 2019. You know, you chose this reading for a reason. You picked this card for a reason. Yes, it is a coincidence, but at the same time, coincidences are never meaningless. There's a reason why they happen. So Moldavite is here to tell you to transform, live beyond just, you know, the material realm. Live on a higher vibration and frequency and tap into that spiritual you. I see that that will help you gain confidence and, you know, the needed trust in the universe just doing its work for 2019. Then we have Jasper. Strengthen your foundation. So again, the Jasper calls to air signs. So if you are an air sign, take the calling of Jasper seriously. You know, Jasper is here to tell you something. As an air sign, you didn't just pick this for no reason. This is not just a meaningless coincidence. I see that it's time for you to strengthen your foundation in the earthly realms. I see that you may have been neglecting your physical health. I see that you may have been, you know, working stressful weeks on end. You may have been traveling a lot. I see that you're in dire need of a meditation session. I feel like you need to strengthen your foundation and strengthen your body. You know, I see that you may have been indulging a lot in, you know, maybe alcohol or unhealthy foods, more than you want to at least. It's time to just strengthen your core, strengthen your body. Remember that what you are, what you put into your body. So if you fuel yourself with like the most amazing, healthy, beautiful food, that is what you're going to radiate, you know, beauty, strength, drive, passion. So make sure that you only fuel your foundation, fuel your body, you know, with the best that's out there. You know, you deserve it. And I feel like you may have forgotten that, and you may have overlooked how important it is to really take care of your body. Your body is your temple. You only have one body. Treat it with respect and make sure that you nurture it. The next meal that you eat, look at it and, you know, ask yourself, is this really fueling me? Is this really like nurturing my body? Or is this just covering up some sort of emotional situation that's going on? So that is what I want you to keep practicing and focusing on before 2019. Then we have the smoky quartz. I see that something that you need to start practicing before the end of 2019 is always seeing the glass as half full instead of half empty. So I feel like recently you may have been seeing the glass as half empty instead of half full, which, you know, of course there's still the same amount in the glass, but just attitudes and the way you view things can make a huge impact and difference on your life. So I see that you may have been, you may have had to deal with emotional vampires. I see that you may have had to deal with people who are just sort of sucking the energy out of you. And I feel like it has been difficult for you to embark on a new spiritual journey, and you just need sort of like a cleanse. You just need a fresh beginning. I see that recently you may have often just thought to yourself, you know, like, what's the point in doing this? What's the point in meditating? What's the point in manifesting? Like, is it really gonna make a difference? And you know, it is. Like, stop seeing the glass as half empty. And you know, if you have fallen prey to emotional vampires, just people who are sort of like sucking the energy out of you, who are turning their problems into your problems, it is time to, you know, keep your distance. It is time to tell those people, like, you know, I can only help so much, but at the same time, this is affecting me in a negative way, and I need to look out for myself too, because you are the average of the 5 people that you spend the most time with. So look around and really be mindful of the people who you're spending time with. Make sure that they're all people who see the glass as half full, not half empty. That way you can ensure that, you know, you're on the same emotional vibration, and that is only going to, you know, breed positivity and amazing relationships for you. Then we have barite, or barite, I'm not quite sure. So I see that right now you kind of may be feeling unfulfilled, either in your studies or the work that you're doing. In the morning, you may be asking yourself constantly, like, oh my God, like, why am I doing this? My true destiny is anything but this job or whatever I'm studying right now. So I see that right now it's time for you to like stop just going with the flow of things that you know are not you. It's time for you to stop saying yes to things that you don't want to say yes to. It's time for you to really realize what your true calling is, to find your divine calling and, you know, what you're here on this earth to do, and to go after it, to go live it. Like, of course it'll be terrifying. Of course you'll have, you know, a lot of changes to make. It may be scary at first, but what choice do you really have? Like, is there really an alternative? But I feel like if you're waking up every morning thinking, I just really don't want to be here, then it's time for you to follow your true calling. Because the other option would be to just stay where you are, and that's not really a life, you know, living on such a low vibration spiritually and emotionally. So remember that in order for you to truly be happy, and in order for you to truly, you know, make a change, make a difference in your life and in this world, it's important that you don't ignore your calling, and that you go for what makes you happy and what makes you feel fulfilled. So get the answer to your biggest questions and then go live them. So yeah, group number 3, I hope you enjoyed your reading. I hope you found it insightful. I hope you learned something new about yourself and your situation. Let me know down below in the comment section what habit you're going to try before 2019. And yeah, if you're tuning out at this point, I wish you guys all a fabulous day. Okay, so group number 4, we're going to start off with the Rhodonite. So Rhodonite is telling you that before the end of 2019, you need to go with your heart. So if you constantly think how much you hate your job, or you're a Sagittarius, this card is calling to you on a deeper level. So I feel like you've been living in this little cubicle that life has for you right now, and it's really having you like vibrate on a very, very low frequency. And I see that it's just been emotionally sort of eating away at you and emotionally just draining you of your best potential. I feel like in 2019, you need to drop the facade. I feel like you may have had this sort of facade about you. You know, you want to please people. You don't want to make anyone uncomfortable or unhappy, which says a lot about you and what, you know, a very caring and considerate person that you are. But at the same time, you're not doing yourself any favors, and it's important for you to live your life for you as well. You know, live your life for your happiness first. So I see that now is really the time to go with what your heart says. If you feel like, you know, there's something really unique about you and you've always wanted to tap into it, before 2019, it's time for you to really make a plan on how you're going to go with your heart and what you feel, you know, is your destiny. So that is something that I see that's really important for you to do before 2019. Then we have the orange calcite. So I feel like you may be a very like artistic person. You may be very good at like painting or music. There is something that you're really good at. It could also be with numbers, okay? So I see that needs like unlocking. I see that you need to put the passion back in that and revisit the creative side of you. I feel like you've sort of been letting that slack, and I see that that's something that you need to do before 2019 in order for you to really reach your full potential the next year. I see that it's going to be an amazing outlet for you and an amazing space for you to just meditate and do something completely closed off from the world and social media. So another thing that I see is that your sex life may need like a little more life, so to say. So yeah, just take it one step at a time. But I definitely feel like things that involve passion and creativity need sprucing up before the year 2019, and it's imperative for you to do that, and it's imperative for you to, you know, find a way to be more creative and to really tap into that other half of your brain, because, you know, just constantly running on your day-to-day program is going to slowly but surely wear you down. So unlock your creativity before 2019. Then we have fluorite. So I see that you may have been having a hard time concentrating. I see that, you know, maybe you do have like ADHD or something, and this is just something that you can't help, but I can see that it's difficult for you to concentrate and, you know, to pick something and stick to it. So now is time to sharpen your focus. I feel like you need to like take time to do things in a uninterrupted manner. It's imperative for you to, you know, set yourself little like intervals of things to do. For instance, okay, I'm gonna study for the next hour. Put your phone away, put your laptop away, and, you know, sharpen your focus. Only focus on that. Make sure that you do that like uninterrupted. Another thing is, you know, if you have a very stressful work life, focus on something for longer than just 5 minutes. When you get home or during the day or in the morning, make yourself meditate for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 20 minutes. Whatever you feel that, you know, you can fit into your day, make sure that you train to focus on just one thing, because I feel like you're just all over the place and it's not serving you very well, because multitasking is not really something that, you know, creates good work. And I see that by the end of 2018, it's important for you to put good work out. So I see that either you need to hand something in for your studies, for your school that, you know, needs to be good, you need that good grade, or at work, like you need to perform before 2019. So I see that it's important for you to sharpen your focus to be able to perform the way you need to, and to be able to reach that satisfactory result that, you know, like you need, you want. So sharpen your focus, and a way you can do that is practice. Like I said, you know, just practice those 10 minutes a day, practice that hour of studying, do a little bit of meditation, and make sure that you sharpen your focus constantly. Then we have the cellulite. Stretch the limits of your imagination. So I feel like you need this because you may have been confining yourself emotionally, physically. I feel like you have not really been pushing yourself out of your comfort zone lately, and I see that, you know, maybe you just, I mean, it's a comfort zone, you know, who does not feel comfortable in their comfort zone? So I feel like you haven't left your comfort zone in a very long time. That's why cellulite is here to tell you to stretch your limits of your imagination until 2019, because I feel like maybe you thought like, oh, you know, like this life is just destined to be me just doing this 9 to 5, eventually buying a house, having kids, etc., you know, doing my studies. I feel like you feel this is just destined to be you. Meanwhile, it's not. You just need to stretch the limits of your imaginations. You may have never imagined anything beyond that. It doesn't mean that this is how your life is meant to be. You may just have never thought of yourself any further than just the limitations that you personally set for yourself. So you guys, I hope that you're getting what I'm saying. If I'm like being too chaotic, I'm sorry about that. But basically what I'm trying to say is that, you know, you can expect more of yourself than you ever thought. You can reach a lot more than you ever thought possible. You just need to stretch the limits of your imagination like cellulite suggests. So make sure that you don't limit yourself and you don't sort of have like this mindset where you feel like you can't accomplish anything, because other people have done it and so can you. So make sure that you really widen your horizon, think out of the box, and don't limit what you feel is possible for you. As long as you put in the work, dedication, and effort, anything in this world is attainable. So yeah, group number 4, I hope you liked your reading and found it insightful. Let me know down in the comment section what you will be taking with you until 2019. And yeah, I hope you guys all have an amazing, positive day, and I will see you guys in my next reading.